It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Meloni.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. If you're catching the show on the air for the first time, you can find me here weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 WHNZ, talking to business owners and entrepreneurs. And as always, I extend an invite to the Tampa Bay business owner community who wants to come on into the show and talk about what it is that you're doing. Love to hear from you. Send me an email, jamie@tampabayradio.com. And also, you can learn more about this show over at tampabayradio.com. That's my website where you can find past shows of this show, also past shows of my prior show, the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show, as I am a realtor at Coldwell Banker. And on the site, you'll find all of my property listings, pre-listed properties. Great site for real estate. And I myself specialize in the sale of bank-owned listings and been in business 7 years with Coldwell Banker. And a great site altogether for past shows and a lot of great information on that site. Again, tampabayradio.com. Also, connect with me on the social media sites, facebook.com/That Business Show. And also, I'm over on the Twitter at Jamie_Meloni. Got a great little show planned for you today. We're going to have a group chat here with Sid Hasan and Jessica Eckley, and let's go ahead and bring them into the show. Jessica Eckley is a public relations and marketing advisor with a focus on strategic communications. A veteran in the sports and entertainment industry, she has managed marketing efforts for professional sports teams and one of the nation's top-ranked venues prior to launching Eckley Media in 2014. She's joined in studio today with Sid Hasan, who is a partner at TekBank and a founding member of CUPS, which is the Channel Urban Professional Society. Sid identifies, pursues, and owns critical relationships with key clients within the professional services space and is responsible for the development of business opportunities made possible through the combination of deep industry knowledge. Sid and Jessica, welcome to the show today.
Thanks for having us.
So let's open up with Jessica. You're the founder of your company, Eckley Media. So give me a background on yourself and your company.
Well, I've, as you had said, had been in the sports and entertainment industry for 15 years and really enjoyed it. I have always been able to take different situations, different opportunities, whether that would be events or sports entertainment, and turn it into something where you are able to capture the attention of an audience. For me, what had happened over the course of so many years in building these wonderful relationships was that I had clients coming back to me saying, I need you to help me outside of this. When are you going to start your own thing? And finally, that built up to last year when I decided to break out and go on my own. Yeah, and one of the people that you're associated with is in studio with us today, Mr. Sid Hasan. Sid, you're a partner over at TekBank, so let's give yourself some moments here to talk about TekBank and what it is that you're involved with late.
Sure. Thanks for having me on again, Jamie. TekBank is a professional services / consulting firm based out of Washington, D.C., and our primary customer base is centered around folks that have a land, sea, and air offering for a B2B or a B2C offering. And in that vein, we try to surround ourselves in the application development, quality assurance, project management, and infrastructure support realms. And in doing so, we find our teams attaching to the likes of the CMOs or CFO offices that are conceptualizing new products that are going to help the B2C offering by helping a retail outfit have more passive customers come through as active customers and get them through to a more sticky conversation that helps them with a software package that is more intuitive.
Now, you just relocated down here from Washington about a year ago, correct? And you're also a founding member of the CUPS organization, Channel Urban Professional Society. What is it about Tampa that brought you down here from Washington?
I could quickly say my boss, but I think there was more factors. I think if you look at social indicators and economic indicators, let me take a step back. I was with a firm that was much larger, based in D.C., $500 million in revenue, 5,000 employees. We had a visionary CEO that thought our region, which is the Southeast, was underperforming, asked me to come down, kind of lead by example and make things better. So that was one aspect. And then if you look at that and you couple it with the expansion that Shad Khan, the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, is doing in Jacksonville and what he's doing for the infrastructure of the city. Jeffrey Vinnick, what he's doing with the Tampa Bay Lightning and the infrastructure of the core downtown. And then obviously Cuba and Brickell is exploding. If you kind of take those factors, there's infrastructure and technology that must be at the forefront and be handheld as these conversations conceptualize, design, and develop. So I think there's social indicators and economic indicators that kind of led us to choose Tampa as a hub.
Well, congratulations on the advancement into the Tampa Bay market. So hopefully things will go very well for yourself and your company. So let's go back over to Jessica, founder of Eckley Media. Talk to us about brand identity and positioning. So let's talk about that.
Well, you know, it really is so important when you start any marketing, any public relations project, that you need to narrow in on what exactly you are trying to get your audience to think and feel about your company. If you don't own your brand positioning, if you don't create your own brand positioning, someone else is going to do it for you. So it really is about investing and understanding how you want to be perceived. That type of brand positioning ends up being carried out through any of your other communications pieces, anything, whether that's a marketing or advertisement that goes out in the market, something you're saying on social media, or even when you come on a show. You want to make sure that you're echoing that same message all the time.
Now, what are some of the tools that you use to create brands? I mean, talk me through a typical new client orientation and the conversations that you would have with them in this space.
Well, the first thing is really understanding their audience. When it comes down to it, you know, you have B2C, you have B2B, but there are so many channels in which we can go ahead and talk to folks nowadays. So there's a science to understanding your audience, and really by investing in who they are and what you want to say to them, that's really the first thing. I'll give you an example. When I was in entertainment, you have shows. What we had learned was that most purchases for going to a show were driven by the mom, right?
Right.
So sure, I could go out and I could buy a TV spot, and that would be great if moms had the time to sit and actually watch TV. But what we found is that these are time-starved individuals that were controlling the purse strings. So for us, it was about speaking to mommy bloggers, talking to social influencers, and learning that by getting them to talk about their experience at an event and about the memories that they were making with their kids, that went so much further in creating an opportunity for sales.
Tell me more about your inspiration and your past entrepreneurship. You're talking about how, you know, you're helping people in this space, and they were saying, oh, you should start your own company and stuff. Take me through those steps, because everybody out there has, you know, that certain something that they know that they can do well, but so many people are so afraid to take that next step. Talk to me about how you were able to go from, you know, not owning a business to, you know, founding your own company.
Well, I think I wouldn't be a human being if I wasn't still fearful every day.
Right.
But for me, it really is about the passion that's involved in the business. You know, I love what I do, and I love being able to connect. I love being able to connect businesses with their audience. I love being able to help them tell their story, and being able to put them out there in a space that gets them comfortable, gets them noticed, and helps eventually drive business to them. So for me, I was just always inspired by watching other entrepreneurs out there. Here I was helping them with their different business tactics, and I was always working for someone else. So it was about watching some of my clients go out and do their own thing that inspired me to step out on my own.
I think I could echo that question. You said something that's very important to TekBank and how we engage our customers from the onset. Jamie, I think what Jessica said is very important, and for us in the tech world, we call that a bit of a discovery session, where we have potentially a 90-day window or an engagement where we break it into 3 buckets of 30 days, where we say for the first 30 days, we want to interview your folks and talk about what it is you're doing now, or in very technical terms, map out your as-is environment. So those are the first 30 days, and that's the first phase of discovery. The second phase is we kind of take those facts in, ingest them, make sense of it, enrich it, come up with our potential solutions. And the last 30 days kind of pitch that plan, evangelize it, and see if there's any stickiness to say, this is what we believe that'll get you to, again, in technical terms, your to-be state. So again, discovery is very key. We do it in a 90-way statement of work or engagement where we can take on a customer. And again, agnostically speaking, while we do have a core customer base of the likes of airports, airlines, and Amtrak and other folks where we've done awesome things, right now in an expansion mode, we're taking on customers that are enterprise class or a little bit lower in the SMB market that can help us expand. So again, discovery, Jessica, I think what you said is very important, those 3 buckets of 9, 30, 30, 30 days. And then hopefully you end up with a win-win-win solution where the customer says, I like what you've come up with. I like how you've decomposed our environment and how you can take us to the future and kind of map along and be our partner for this, potentially 36, 48, or 60-month journey of application development or mobile development.
Now, excuse me, Jessica, part of what you do is brand storytelling, and I think Sid just hinted on what he calls it, brand evangelizing. So talk to me a little bit about, creating stories behind the brand. How do you do this, and what the importance of this?
Well, I think it's really important, especially in the area of public relations. If a company is out there, they all have certain things that they want to communicate and that they want to bring attention to. But the fact is that from a media standpoint, and as a media person, I'm sure you understand, it may not always resonate with the audience. So for me, it's about finding the right story. It's about creating an opportunity to talk about the company, something that resonates with the media and is relevant to the audience. And if we have those 3 things, then we have the right pitch ready to go out to market. But if it's not doing those 3 things, then we need to find another story. So it really is important. I think, you had a great story with TekBank coming to market. Here we had a company that has done so well nationally and internationally, and of all places, they chose Tampa Bay. And I thought, wow, that really, number one, speaks to all of the efforts that we've really seen our community put behind trying to attract technology to this market. We really have put a lot of wonderful things in place, from a city and accounting perspective to encourage these companies to come here. And the other thing that we talked about when we went and spoke with some of the different media personnel was job creation. Yeah. Talk about something that resonates and hits with Tampa Bay as a whole. We're talking about an opportunity to bring social and intellectual capital to the Bay Area.
That's a good point. And I just remembered this week I had the honor of attending the Fellows Forum, which is the UT Leadership annual event, and they had 3 amazing keynotes. One was Felt Entertainment, who just dropped a pretty impressive PETA-friendly announcement about their elephants yesterday. The other was Hartmut Leibel, the CEO and president of ex-president and CEO of Jabil, and now the president of ICOR. And the last was the gentleman from Dover. And they all had one interesting point about Tampa Bay. 2 of those CEOs have relocated and live in the Tampa Bay area. So you can drive down the street and go to Felt Entertainment, also known as Ringnum Barling, Monster Jam, and all these other things, or ICOR, who is the behind-the-scenes call center folks. They've really said that Tampa and the region has really put in the infrastructure that it needs to thrive. And I think it's hats off to our government officials. Mayor Buckhorn, often says something that I'm very keen on. He says, Tampa's got swagger. Yeah. And I love that term. So I honestly look at, what, Mayor Buckhorn's done and what Jeffrey Vinnick is doing, and it really assures me that I made the right decision to be in this market.
Yeah, it's an exciting time to be in the Tampa Bay region. Yeah. Got to take a quick break. Coming back from the break, we're going to talk more with Jessica Eckley and Sid Hasan, a little bit more about social media and some of the other things about their company here on That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com. In the market for a reverse mortgage? Contact Access Reverse, a local company with personalized service in the Bay Area. Call them at 727-347-0305 or visit AccessReverse.com for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. They'll come to your home and speak with you about the best options for your reverse mortgage. Plus, they offer the lowest closing costs. Don't just get a reverse mortgage. Get the right reverse mortgage with Access Reverse. Visit accessreverse.com. NMLS number 4566. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
This report is brought to you by iHeartMedia.
Looking for a way to increase your business? Ever thought about advertising on radio? iHeartMedia can customize a campaign to meet your specific needs. Call 844-BUY-RADIO. That's 844-BUY-RADIO. Or go to iHeartMedia.com.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center.
There is still a crash on 275 southbound at Bush Boulevard. The right lane is blocked. We still have a serious crash in Lutz affecting southbound traffic on US 41 at Crenshaw Lake. And watch out for a crash causing delays in both directions on 66th Street near 49th Avenue North. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Udo by Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
Low clouds and fog at 20% rain chance, high 71. Tonight, partly cloudy, cool, low 53. Tomorrow at 10% rain chance, high 71.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Welcome back, everybody, to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Again, catch the show on weekdays at 8 a.m. and also learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com. In studio today, talk with Jessica Eckley. She is the founder of her company, Eckley Media, along with Sid Hasan, a partner at TekBank. And when I open up this segment talking about social media, and Jessica, and with how do you engage your clients in this space? Do you find that like a lot of people are interested in this, or do you find you have to kind of introduce a lot of people into this area?
Well, I think everybody's naturally interested in it. It's one of those things that has actually dynamically changed the way we do business, whether you're in public relations or in marketing. What we find is that everybody wants to figure out how to leverage social media to their advantage. And there's different ways you can do it. There's direct advertising on it. There's posting and engaging. But what we found is that social media really gives you a great opportunity to tell your brand story and to connect and engage directly with consumers. And, even in the B2B front, you have platforms like LinkedIn and Twitter, which allow you to, again, evangelize, position yourself as a thought leader in your space. So it really is, different for each company, and it's about finding the right social media channel that's right for your business. Do you
utilize all the different social media channels for your clients, or do you find that maybe Facebook is better for this business and Twitter is better for that business? Talk to me a little bit about the applications of each.
Well, there's definitely there are some companies that are going to go across the space, right? But there are some that really need to work on finding the right platform for them. For instance, a B2B company might find that to talk to their customers, to talk to other people, other executives within their space, that Twitter may be best. If you have somebody who's an HR hiring manager, LinkedIn is the right social platform for them. Now you have opportunities to create blogs and on LinkedIn and really be able to tell your brand story and position yourself.
I mean, for us, Jamie, it's not a core competency where we are ever going to be in the business of helping folks pick up more users in the ether. So having said that, we've got a healthy ecosystem with Eckley Media and other folks that we can gladly refer our customers to. Now, on the other side of that, our largest customer is Amtrak.com, where in certain segments from an on-rail standpoint, they own the market. So what can we do to kind of supplement their customer base that is trying to travel between DC and Boston? Well, we can get them announcements that are LBS or location-based services that when a patron of the Acela, which is the fast train in the Northeast, is traveling from DC to Baltimore to Philly to New Jersey to New York, we can say, hey, we're sponsoring free coffee this morning. So little things that we can kind of add to our core competency, which is writing the applications that people buy the tickets on. Coming up with the mobile native iOS, Android, and Windows application that they use. How do we instill theoretically what Jessica Eckley does for her customers into our customer base, knowing that it's not a core competency for us? But again, we're never going to be in the business of turning customers away, but we'll say, we'll gladly refer you to someone in our ecosystem, aka Eckley Media, right?
Mm-hmm. Jessica, how is it that some people's business gets a lot of likes or a lot of follows and other people's don't? Is it more because I see some people with boring business models have a lot of followers. How does that work?
Well, it's certainly different for everyone. I always encourage my clients to first start organically, to start with the people that matter the most to your business, invite them to like your page, your employees, things along those lines, because that interaction is actually what's critical to helping grow your base with those quality leads. There are certainly opportunities out there to grow your base, whether through marketing and advertising, brand boosted posts, whether that's on LinkedIn or on Facebook, Twitter, certainly. There's programs out there. I personally am not a big fan of purchasing new users or new followers because what you really want is a genuine interaction and social conversation happening.
Yeah, when I started my business page on Facebook, I did an advertising campaign, and I thought, that after the likes were on the page, that the post would appear on all the different people's pages. And after I quit paying for it, I come to find out, I think John, who runs the stream over here, was telling me 7% of the posts that you put appear on the people's feeds. Is that accurate, would you say?
I would definitely say so. So Facebook has an algorithm that is multi-layered. There's no one thing that drives how often a company shows up in post, but one of those things that drives it is interaction and engagement. So how often they are interacting with your channel, what type of posts they like to interact with, what type of interaction you're getting. Is it likes, is it comments, is it shares? Those are things that drive how often you're showing up in that news feed. So you want a genuine audience because you want that genuine interaction. And if not, then you're going to start going silent on the people that really matter.
Yeah. And perhaps I'll layer in, Jessica, something around the infrastructure of technology that is also changed in the sense that the paradigm of storage, networking, and computing is different. So the likes of Amazon Web Services, Microsoft, Verizon, Terramark, Savvis, and other folks are saying that you no longer need to, Mr. Customer, worry about the infrastructure you need to write your really cool software packages or your mobile applications. So if you consider that the infrastructure aspect that took us weeks or months to configure and get ready and then deliver over to the application development guys, that window has become very scalable and elastic. So what people are saying, perhaps from a social standpoint, that if you have really cool products that you want to conceptualize and go to market with, well, now technology is such that you can lease the infrastructure when you need it, make it go away when you don't. And it's a very elastic model that is perhaps helping the social phenomenon that we find ourselves in, right? Mm-hmm. So you're able to productize things much quicker, develop them, and take them to production in cycles that are astronomically smaller than they used to be in the past.
Now, Facebook seemed to be like the front runner, but I think Twitter is starting to kind of move on Facebook a little bit. I think Facebook and their advertising is kind of pushing people away into Twitter. Jessica, what do you think of that comment?
Well, I mean, certainly Facebook, I think, works for certain channels. It is definitely more of a social channel. It's where we share the pictures of our kids. Instagram is actually the second largest social channel right now. Certainly, if you want to talk to millennials, if you want to make sure that you are leveraging great visual content that gets engagement. Instagram's a wonderful channel.
I've never gotten into the Instagram yet. I've got one, but I really don't understand how the Instagram universe works just yet. So, anyways, hold that point. We're headed into the bottom of the hour break. But if you're just tuning in, we're talking with Jessica Eckley, founder of Eckley Media, along with Sid Hasan, a partner over at TekBank, on That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
We offer fun, educational day camps for kids in kindergarten through 8th grade. Camps take place around several major holidays, springtime, and all summer long. Learn more when you search camps at seawinter.com.
Each franchise independently owned and operated.
Hey, Julie. Thanks for coming over.
Aw, thanks for inviting me. Wow, the place looks amazing. I love these window treatments.
Thanks. It's Budget Blind's exclusive new drapery line, Inspired Drapes.
They are really gorgeous. Can I have Budget Blind's number?
Sure. Call them today. They'll give you professional design advice on hundreds of fabrics and style options without interior designer fees. And they professionally measure and even install. You won't have to lift a finger.
Introducing Inspired Drapes, a Budget Blinds exclusive. Our gorgeous draperies and window fashions are like eye candy for your rooms. Be the first to see the new looks, new colors, new styles, even rugs and pillows that add the perfect finishing touches. Call 1-800-260-8939 now to set up your in-home consultation and be the first in your neighborhood to see our new collection. Call 1-800-260-8939. That's 1-800-260-8939.
This report is brought to you by iHeartMedia.
Looking for a way to increase your business? Ever thought about advertising on radio? iHeartMedia can customize a campaign to meet your specific needs. Call 844-BUY-RADIO. That's 844-BUY-RADIO. Or go to iHeartMedia.com.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center.
We still have a crash on 275 southbound near Bush Boulevard that has the right lane blocked. Watch out for a disabled bus in a lane on Nebraska Avenue southbound at Hannah Avenue in Tampa. We have a serious crash in St. Pete still on 66th Street at 49th Avenue North. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamston, Uterwick, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
Winds, Weather Center forecasts. More clouds than sunshine today. We'll see cooler temps in the mid-70s and a 30% chance of some showers throughout the morning and afternoon. Lows tonight, mid-60s. Impact Radio, 1250 winds.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Welcome back, everybody, to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. I invite you to tune in here weekdays at 8 a.m. To hear about local business owners and entrepreneurs in and around the Tampa Bay region, as this show is all about promoting the entrepreneurial spirit. Exciting times going on in the Tampa Bay region, a lot of growth, a lot of business owners doing some exciting things, and my show is here to talk with them and promote them. Also, learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com. Got a show info tab where you can catch the most recent shows. And also you can listen on demand to prior shows and also past shows of the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show, which was my first show that I was doing on real estate for a year and a half prior to the launch of this show back in February. And also on the site, TampaBayRadio.com, you'll catch all of my property listings, pre-listed properties, and also you can also watch this show live. We carry the live stream every day in here. And on the homepage of Tampa Bay Radio, you'll see a link to the live stream. So catch us in studio, always lively events going on in the studio, so I invite you to tune in there as well. In studio, we're talking with Jessica Eckley. She is the founder of her company, Eckley Media, along with Sid Hasan, a partner at TekBank. And before the break, we were talking about social media, and I want to continue that conversation. Jessica, I was looking at some of the stuff on your site, and you have some great tips for social media. One of the things that you talk about, and some of the things that I always talk about a lot. Storytelling is so important to client engagement, to audience engagement. So you say be a visual storyteller. Let's elaborate on this some more.
Well, and I think I had a great stat in there that I always love to share with clients. But eMarketer says that Facebook posts receive an 87% higher interaction rate when you're using images and incorporating images. Media Blog notes that tweets are often retweeted more by 35% when you use images. And for so long, we were about the character limits on Twitter, and we weren't really thinking about how to incorporate and leverage images. And now there are so many tools, whether it's Instagram or so many photo editing tools that are great, that are right on our phone, that allow us to tell that story and to do it in a compelling way visually. I don't think that you should be putting posts out there unless they're linked to an article that comes with an image or an image that you yourself own that's trying to reinforce that story. There's also great apps out there like Canva, which allow you to tie wording and actually and tie calls to action into your images, which is so great, because here you have this tool that on Instagram now, which is a primarily visually driven platform, that you can put your core message right in the image itself.
Right, and you make the point to understand each platform. And we're talking about Instagram. I don't use Instagram. I got an Instagram account, and I did one of those things where you follow all your friends from your address book, but I really don't understand Instagram and stuff. So is this something, let's talk from my business, my real estate business. Is Instagram something that I should be utilizing in my real estate business?
There certainly are a lot of real estate folks that are out there and talking about, number one, you can talk about your listings themselves, which is the easiest thing to think about. Number two, you can talk about what are the cool features that are making some homes stand out and sell. Is it pools? Is it fixtures? And then the other thing that I would really encourage you to do is, if you want to leverage Instagram, talk about the community. Yeah. Really a community. We talk about location with real estate. Really build that brand and that story for your community, and I think that you're going to see some great interaction through Instagram for your business.
And let's talk about timing. And there's an application out there known as Hootsuite, an application that I use to time the post, things like that. Let's talk about that.
Hootsuite really gives a lot of great analytics and insights for folks to be able to monitor and properly engage in social media. So, whether that's Facebook, which provides the insights directly, Twitter does as well, or if you're getting it through a third party like Hootsuite, I really encourage you to look at, when are you getting the best interaction from your social media tweets and posts? When are people liking and engaging? Because that's going to tell you when's the right time to post your messages. If not, you're just going to end up lower on that news feed, and if somebody doesn't have the right opportunity to see you, they're going to miss you completely.
Talk to me about the professional who has, the pages and the posts with all the rants and all the political posts, things like that. I mean, is that something that we're all human. We all, want to, talk about our feelings and our views and stuff like that. But talk to me a little bit about this and with your clients and stuff. Do you coach them against that type of stuff? Keep everything professional? Well,
I've worked in sports and entertainment. If there's one place you have to be sensitive is when somebody is talking about your GM's decisions on a player trade and how it's impacting last night's win or loss. And so I think that there are some things that you can do to deflect or to not engage. That same training comes in when you're doing a media training interview. There are times, depending on the topic, that I encourage people to engage. The fact is that there are going to be times where a potential customer or client puts negative feedback about your product, your offering, your service on your Facebook page. I'd encourage you to say, thank you so much for your feedback. We want you to know that we value your feedback. let's take this conversation offline so I can try and address it for you. Give them your phone number, give them an opportunity to message you, and then you can work on correcting the issue.
Yeah, and remove emotion from the decision making, especially in business. I mean, as I say many times, all decisions involve two components: a logical component and an emotional component. And when you're in business, when you make a decision, you got to think to yourself: am I reacting emotionally or am I reacting logically? And the best decisions are going to be made when you remove the emotional element in business decision making.
It's hard because a lot of times you want to react immediately.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I do say there are times, at least from the standpoint of social, don't wait too long to respond, because if not, it just feels like that concern's falling on deaf ears.
Maybe I'll add one thing. For us, the game is a bit different, Jamie and Jessica, in the sense that TekBank is primarily behind the scenes, correct? So we are never going to go into our customer site saying, hey, make sure our logo is on your website, right? That'll never happen because of our trusted advisorship to our customers. Now, having said that, what we can do is build really cool applications that are bug-free, that are in production, that are scalable, that have the CPU that they need from an infrastructure standpoint, that are performance ready, that can handle scale and peak times. So what can we do as TekBank? So if you go to Amtrak.com on your mobile phone or from your desktop, know that that's a TekBank site that we developed. We co-developed with Amtrak in Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, and Delaware. And what we can do is let them do the social aspect, but then when their customer base lands on Amtrak.com, which is a TekBank site, we can make sure that the user experience and the user interface is as clean, elastic, and scalable and intuitive as possible. So for us, the game is we're on the back end, right? And you guys are at the forefront saying, hey, let's drive the traffic to that website. But then when we get to that website, TekBank wants to be in the business of making sure that we help capture that audience, help them get to a better retail experience.
Now, another tip, Jessica, that you talk about is asking for engagement. I mean, I feel awkward when I have to ask for something. Talk to me a little bit about this.
Yeah, you want to be careful. For a while there, I think Facebook got down on saying, like this. But, there are times where you can ask for it subtly. Crowdsourcing is such a big part of what folks are doing now, asking for direct engagement and feedback from their audience. So that's something you can do where you're asking questions on social in order to get some feedback and engage that viewer.
I thought I'd maybe add one thing from a segue standpoint, Jessica. I think this is a really cool symbiotic relationship that I think you and I have formed. Obviously, you ran our public relations and got us to the forefront of media. Having said that, I think we can build an ecosystem that is such that, again, there's symbiosis between complementing suite of services, where it's a win-win-win, right? A win for the PR firm, a win for the technology firm, and a win for the customer. So I wanted to reiterate what TekBank does, and again, we're behind the scenes, right? Very much like your call center folks, you'll never know who they work for because they come in promoting the brand that they're supporting. So again, for us, TekBank is all about application development. Agnostically speaking, we come in saying we can help you. But truth be told, our workloads that we are developing, testing, and taking to production are centered around .NET frameworks, Java frameworks, and now with the advent of infrastructure as a service, software as a service, and platform as a service, there's a lot of LAMP as well. From there, we go into program management, creation, execution, and operations. Quality assurance, where we can test automated schemes or manual schemes, and then a lot of infrastructure support where we can be your tier 1, tier 2 partner as you go to production. And I think where we are finding ourselves really fitting into the Tampa Bay landscape is public sector, and then some, so obviously state, local, and EDU. And then we'll probably end up doing a lot of work just because it's a passion and something on my resume, healthcare and banking and finance.
Now, Sid, who are you catering to in terms of new clients? Talk to me about, are you able to serve the small business owner or all the way up to the large corporation? Talk to me about who your business caters to.
Yeah, I mean, Jamie, that's a very good question. I'm glad you led me to this. There's use cases that are outside the typical realm where I could easily say, look, and I could tell our teams that we don't want to go after business where customers don't have revenue over 25 or 50 million. That's not always the case, because there's always going to be someone that comes to us and says, we've got this awesome app dev design concept. Would you help us and be our partner that'll write it, take it to production, and then manage in production? So there's always, one-off cases that you'll need. But primarily, I think we've made a living in the public sector. Most people outside of D.C. don't know, but Amtrak is funded by the federal government. So I'm actively in dialogue with state of Florida, where I've met with everyone from the CFO Jeff Atwater's office, helping them with some PMO initiatives. Hillsborough County, City of Tampa, because we've got some awesome leadership. Russell Hoppert at the city is doing amazing things. Ramin is doing awesome things at the county. And then, of course, again, I can't emphasize enough, but Mayor Buckhorn is really tech-friendly. Sandra Merman is very tech-friendly. So I think public sector and in the private realm, Jamie, I think we'll be doing work for a lot of the healthcare companies and then banking and finance.
Oh, great. Got take another quick break. If you're just tuning in, we've been talking with Sid Hasan. He's a partner with TekBank. And also we were talking with Jessica Eckley, founder of her company Eckley Media, here on That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com. In the market for a reverse mortgage? Contact Access Reverse, a local company with personalized service in the Bay Area. Call them at 727-347-0305 or visit AccessReverse.com for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. They'll come to your home and speak with you about the best options for your reverse mortgage. Plus, they offer the lowest closing costs. Don't just get a reverse mortgage. Get the right reverse mortgage with Access Reverse. Visit AccessReverse.com. NMLS number 4566. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear-to-close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
This report is brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life.
While many rose up with violence, he sat down for peace. Mahatma Gandhi reached out with the strength he cultivated within his soul. So, pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center.
We are still seeing a crash on 275 southbound at Bush Boulevard. The right lane is blocked. Still have a serious crash reported in St. Pete on 66th Street at 49th Avenue North, and delays continue on I-4 westbound from the Selman Connector into 275. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uterwick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
Low clouds and fog, a 20% rain chance, high 71. Tonight, partly cloudy, cool, low 53. Tomorrow, at 10% rain chance, high 71.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Welcome back, everybody, to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. In studio with me today, Jessica Eckley, founder of Eckley Media here in the Tampa Bay region, and also Sid Hasan, a partner at TekBank. And I want to go back over to Sid. Sid, what is your economic forecast for the next 12 to 18 months in the Tampa Bay region?
Sure. So thanks to Eckley Media and Jessica's efforts, we had a launch roughly 2 weeks ago at the Tampa Club, and we kind of dropped some economic numbers based on some careful considerations. And I think we're safe to say that we'd like to bring on 10 folks into the Tampa Bay market that from a direct impact that we would bring on as salaried employees of TekBank based in the region. And then obviously, Jamie, there's indirect impact from their housing and other things that are to mention. But again, I think we're safe to say that based on the due diligence and the conversations we're having and the team sizes team size that we'll need for our customer demands. We're safe to say we'll have a core team of 10 people in place in the rough in 12 to 15 months in Tampa Bay.
Yeah. And TekBank has a lot of major clients. I mean, you've mentioned Amtrak a few times. Talk to me a little bit more about some of the clients that TekBank services.
Very much so with a lot of companies in the SMB or small medium business market. We fall into that 80-20 rule right now, where Amtrak is probably a majority of our company, where we have teams in excess of 35, 40 consultants in DC. From again, land, sea, and air standpoint, we've done work for United Airlines, Fannie Mae, Amtrak, Hawaiian Airlines, Marriott, Sprint, AT&T, IBM. But again, I think our core competencies are really highlighted at Amtrak, where we're doing, again, application development, quality assurance, program management, office setup, execution operations, and infrastructure support.
Very nice. And you just expanded into the Tampa region within the last year, roughly. Go back through the launch.
We formed alliances in December, launched just 3 weeks ago, actually.
Yeah.
So we've been at it for roughly 4 to 6 weeks now.
Hey, another testament to the growth in the Tampa Bay region.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to go back over to Jessica Eckley, founder of Eckley Media. Now, one thing that's on your site, 5 ways to tap public relations to grow your small business. Let's talk about these tips right here.
Well, I try to think about if you were starting out on your own and you were trying to figure out how you could do PR and leverage PR, what you would need to do. The first thing I always tell people to do is, number one, you need to engage. You have consumers out there, customers out there, and 92% of global consumers trust earned media over other forms of advertising. And when I say earned media, that comes in a couple of different forms, but it's essentially the reviews that are out there for your company. It's when a writer writes a story about your company or about personnel in your company. So small to medium-sized businesses really need to tap those local online communities. If you've had an interaction with a client, encourage them to put that online review. And again, if you see a negative review, respond to it immediately. Take that conversation offline and make sure that you can turn that customer.
Yeah, my show is an excellent example of earned media. I look for successful entrepreneurs. I invite them into my show. They don't pay me to come in here. I have sponsors, things like that, who make regular appearances. But my show, so again, I'll send an invite out there for people that are interested. Give me a quick pitch. But my show is a platform for earned media. So I'm glad you brought up that point.
Absolutely.
So another one you talk about, staying the course. Talk to me a little bit about this.
It's so easy to get discouraged, especially in things like social media. If you don't see those shares, those likes, that growth and following right away, people think that, why am I going to bother? I'll just drop off. And the truth is that this is a marathon. You really need to look at this as a long-term investment in your brand positioning and your branding. And that in order to really build that equity and build that credibility, it takes time.
Now, budgeting, big point of public relations. Talk to me a little bit about the importance of budgeting and how you assist in this arena.
So when people talk about marketing, they instantly think advertising. They've got a budget set aside for print and for TV and for radio. And the fact of the matter is that you can really get a lot accomplished with a smaller investment in public relations. So there should always be, these two things should complement. If paid media drives traffic, you have earned media and public relations, which is really going to hone that message and engage the consumer when they get there. So they need to be thought of as one tool together in your marketing plan.
Let's talk about the importance of blogging. That's something people can do for free, and it's something that can really set yourself apart as an expert in your field. Talk to me a little bit about this.
Well, from an SEO standpoint, you really want to keep content on your site fresh. You constantly want to be updating, so that you're fitting in with important keywords. And then the other side of that, too, is, again, thought leadership, really telling what it is that you are an expert at and putting that out there. So I encourage people to blog their expertise. And then not only that, but to make sure that they're leveraging that on social. It gives you another opportunity to put yourself out there. So once you put that blog, don't let it just sit there. It's an opportunity for bylines as well with different publications.
Now, talk to me about, monitoring and kind of getting results from or not just your social media, just your public relations in general. What are the benchmarks, or what are some of the, metrics that you can put in place to make sure that your marketing plan is an effective tool for you?
Well, it's important overall for you to develop goals right from the beginning. Again, how you want your audience to think and feel about your brand. A lot of it goes in the front end, and those discovery sessions like Sid was talking about earlier, we do those on our end as well. We want to understand before we get started how people think and feel, if you're an existing brand, how they think and feel about your brand, and so that you're readdressing those same things afterward to really be able to judge the success of your efforts.
And perhaps we've kind of embarked on a good marriage in the sense, Jessica, that you can do the functional, strategic aspect of it up front, and then TekBank can do the business intelligence or analytics that are needed to be predictive to tell Home Depot that, hey, on Friday you should move WD-40 to the front of the door because there's a demographic that is coming in, buying that, skewing out, and moving on. So perhaps this is a good marriage in the sense that you help them strategically, functionally, and then I'll help them tactically and technically by offering some analytics and predictive analytics from a algorithmic or SQL standpoint.
And that's a great point. I mean, everything runs seasonally and calendar-wise. And so, from a monitoring standpoint, if you're a small business and you're out there and you're trying to figure out how can I get on these different publications' radar, a lot of these groups put out editorial calendars. So number one, you need to think about seasonality of the things that you're doing, what some of the important issues are that are out there, and then what a publication is covering. So if a publication has a special tech focus, you can bet that I'm going to be out there pitching TekBank and talking to them about some of the great things that they're doing in the community. So that's a really important thing to be able to monitor what publications are talking about.
Wise CEOs often say plan for the valleys, not the peaks. So having said that, in seasonality around our customers, right? I mean, you've got your heavy retail season from, potentially November to January that you have to always cater to your customers. But then how do you keep them, how do you sustain them from Q1 to Q3 as well, right? So you've got to plan for the valleys, not the peaks. Because in the nature of technology, the cloud providers have gotten us to a predictable place where you can be spiky but predictable.
Yeah, very good point. Yeah. Let's talk about the importance of mobile. A lot of people tend to overlook this. They go and they build their website, and they forget about the importance of making sure the application is applicable to the mobile devices. Talk to me a little bit about this.
And there's even things that are being said out there that Google gives, especially because search is so active right now on a mobile device, but that Google gives kind of some favoritism in the search mechanism on mobile. If you have a mobile-friendly site, the navigation has to be able to be there from that standpoint. You have to have clear and concise messaging, something that is not going to be super lengthy, because if you have that on a small screen, you're going to lose somebody.
Yeah, I always tell people, look at your website on your phone and make sure it displays properly. A lot of people that built their sites several years ago, their sites are not displaying properly.
I mean, there's statistics out there that Gartner projects and Forrester says, Jessica, I know you know this already, but perhaps one in every 3 retail transaction is now done from a native mobile device. Yeah. So it's awesome. So if you kind of going back to TekBank, we were very proud to be selected to write the Amtrak.com native iOS, Android, and Windows phone. So again, keep that in mind. The paradigm has shifted that 1 in 3 transactions on the World Wide Web are done from a native mobile phone. That's an awesome statistic.
Yes, you're definitely in a mobile environment right now, so it's something that people need to make sure that they're incorporating into their PR and marketing plans. Well, we got about a minute left. It's been a great conversation today. We'll give each of my guests a moment to just wrap up here. Start with Sid. Go ahead and tell the audience a little bit more about where they can get some more information on yourself and TekBank.
Absolutely. Again, we're happy to be in Tampa Bay. I'm here living right downtown. Our website is www.tekbank.net. I can easily be reached on Facebook or LinkedIn, and we've got a TekBank page we'd love people to follow, and I'd love to hear from you and see how we can start a dialogue around your consulting and application needs.
Jessica, go ahead.
Yep. Same for me. I'm also on LinkedIn. You can check me out at eckleymedia.com and on Twitter at @Eckley. And I would love to hear from you and how I might be able to help your business.
Great. Thank you both for coming in today. Great show today. And also you can catch more about them over on my show recap over on the page, TampaBayRadio.com. It's the end of the week, everybody, so I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I will see you all back in here Monday at 8 a.m. on That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.